stuff just to say I'm having a perfectly well-adjusted day. All right. So if anything, let's restart a whole system all over again. In the meantime, let us shake hands and do our prayer thing here. And, just to make sure that we are all on the same page, hold up. Let me get this thing here. Come in, join the conversation because this is going to be a long one today. It was a very long one. KTNG morning show. Okay, I have to retype all this stuff in here. At MST Mountain, join the conversation. Stay for the insanity, which is our planet Earth. Gotta love that. And of course, needless, the title of the show is As the Roasted Onion Cries. When doves cry, that sort of thing. Okay, so that's going to be saved there. So now we can all join in the conversation, and we're all here. Okay, so therefore, let us begin with our prayer. Since we're like completely thrown out of we're missing music, we're missing PSAs. I'm like, wow. I had everything fixed, but it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. This is one of the things that happen right in the middle of me eating my bananas. Okay, so let us begin with our daily prayer. Don't pray like this, people, because this simply means that you're a slave. You dang sure don't want to pray like this because people will shoot you or they'll have the cops call on you for barbecuing. I might have the cops called on me for being black while eating a banana, okay, or having breakfast for that matter, or standing around, or trying to edit people in the middle of my shows or something like that for using the N-word. But then again, lack of intelligence and self-worth should be a crime as well. And believe you me, there are tons of us out there that seem to think that because we lack intelligence, we think it's the greatest thing in the world. We love our stupidity, don't we? So while we're waiting for a computer to come up, okay, hopefully at one particular point during the day, it doesn't shut off like it's doing right now, right in the middle of the show. I'm serious. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I thank Jah for my morning rising and also for my good health. In doing so, offer also his ability to place opportunities in front of me, so therefore I may succeed with those by his merit and his merit alone, to help those who cannot help themselves. We're talking under the age of 5 here, okay? Not over the age of 26 or 25, okay? Forget about it. That's not happening. You guys are way too smart. You know all your answers. Anyway, plus also to show compassion towards my enemies, even if they do deserve a patada in a cooler. Yahshua, Jesus Christ, and to the 227th day unto the throne of God himself, King Haile Selassie, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari. Now, in the meantime and in between time, I want to thank you guys for coming out here to KTNG Morning Show. And yes, as soon as I get my other computer running here, then we'll start. In the meantime, yeah, we're going to take our time today, Facebook. Oh, yeah. That's right. There you go. That's right. I'm not doing nothing until I start seeing people up in here. Come to the conversation, people. You know exactly what I'm about to do. And I'm not doing it unless I do it. It's not going to mess up the show. Anyway, there's been a few stories out there. And I do want to say this much and everything, because for the simple fact that you have so much stuff happening, okay? I have a friend of mine, best friend in the whole world, best friend in the whole world. And him and I are Marines, and he's always like, we're Marines till we die. That's great. We understand that there is a logical center when it comes to dealing with, rank, okay? And you're do as you're told. It's kind of autocratic. but that seems that's the way the military is. You follow orders to the T. However, considering that our commander-in-chief has been nothing shy than some hustling charlatan, okay, it almost makes me feel embarrassed to know how stupid people really are. And I'm not saying, just in general, I'm saying overall, okay? Y'all sit up, and I really have to attack the alt-right, the neo-Nazis, the fascists, and basically every poor white person and half-brained black person and basically malinchista that ever voted for this idiot, that you guys are basically starting to reap the fruits of his labor, okay? And therefore, I feel sorry for you. I really do. I have that much empathy to say that I feel drastically sorry for you, because you piously don't get it. You guys just don't get it. You just don't get it, okay? In any corporate 500 business, that's your Shark Tank, okay? That is your Shark Tank. That is where people basically go to die. And only the strong survive in that ever-changing field or whatever it is you're in. The problem is that it is a very highly competitive field. Now, I'm not sure if many of you went by and saw the old shows of, say, The Apprentice. Before the shows of The Apprentice, there should be a viewing of Warren Beatty and Halle Berry's interpretation of Bulworth. Now, I would like for you guys to go out and see that movie, or rent it, or pull it up on YouTube or Red and watch it yourself, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Let's get rid of all of that. Okay, because obviously this is done. And let's see what we got. Warning patch, Let's okay, there we go. All right, and we got to do this. No, there's a lot of stuff that happened in Bulworth that kind of reminds me of what your contemporary jackass is up to. And I, for one, have been laughing his ass off. Okay, straight up. Let's see if this actually puts it up. Oh, hell no. Okay. Oh, let's see what we got here. Oh, you don't believe this. I don't believe this. Okay, hang on. All right, let's get rid of that, because that's not happening. Okay. Got to put the file in where the files are supposed to go. And I'm not starting my show without them. Plain and simple. Okay? I do not go, yeah, I'm right about now. When I got every right to, because I owe this to you guys. Okay? I owe this to you guys. Nobody else. Where are you? Just uploaded your butt. Okay. Can you at least give me that? Oh, you have to put that down there then. There! Finally! Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Ooh, okay. This is ugly. My whole patch is gone, really. To be honest, my whole patch is almost gone. Which means I might have to make a new patch altogether. Ooh, Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there we go. Don't mind me, people. Just pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. If you're actually watching behind the curtain. I don't know. Okay, so we were doing good up until then, and then all of a sudden everything just dropped right out of the bucket. Speaking of draining the swamp, do you know that they have like a huge, just somebody's stupid. Oh my God, where the hell? Wow, okay. We're gonna have to do this butt naked style here. All right, hate to do this, people, but which means my whole morning set list is gone. Oh my God, gotta love this. Boom, boom, boom. 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 All right, well, cool. This is going to have to work. Whammo. All right, let's get this out of here. All right. Now. Hold up. Oh, my God. Hold up. Oh, my God. No. No, that is definitely not happening. Not happening. Nope. Okay. All right. Okay. I think, hello? Yes, there we are. Okay, now I'm back on the air. And we can actually do this correctly. Okay? Now, as we go into this, sorry for the delay, people, but I am completely finicky because you are now here at the KTNG Morning Show. It would not be this without the daggone holler, hoop and holler. Oh, that's right. The sign is on the wall, people. The sign is on the wall. And guess what? This is your host from the left to the right coast, from the center, from north to south, the irrepressible mouth. The G to the R to the I to the T to the Z, ZST, above the mountain and underneath the 25 freeway. Colorado Springs, you know, I'm the freak on the peak that's about to speak. And if you open up your mind, I'll give you something to talk about for the rest of the week. That's right. Come on, people. Y'all know exactly where I'm going with this. Anyway, thank you guys for coming through. This is the KTNG Morning Show. We had some major problems here and there. But, it is what it is. And we just have to keep on impressing and, making sure that we get through this whole bloody thing as best we can, now knowing that most of this is like completely almost done. So without further ado, let's get inside of some of these stories that are affecting you. All right. So if we all were paying attention, hopefully at some particular point or another, there has been a snag in your dictator's actions, overstepping the lines, and trying to make himself look like the bigger boss, which needless to say is not happening. One more check here and see, make sure everything is working. Okay, cool, we're good. All right, good. All right, so here it is, people. Directly from the Hill. And I want you guys, people, to understand that this is like, what is happening, okay, and why I discuss these things like this. Besides all this stupid news that we all like to listen to and find and entertain ourselves with. But this is some serious stuff that'll basically make you understand why we keep saying first letter I, last letter T. Impeachment. All right. I don't care if you share this amongst whatever we're on YouTube. Like and share and subscribe. MushLuv'd by Ja. Okay, it's right there, and as well as on Facebook. Give me your opinions. Give me your peace. Give me your time, as I put my time into this every day. So from the Hill, Clapper, Ryan, and McConnell didn't election interference as long as Trump won. Okay, now former director of National Intelligence James Clapper accuses Speaker Paul Ryan and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell in a new book of not caring about foreign interference in the 2016 election as long as your jefe of the El Mese, the distraction, Captain Chaos and Underpants, afraid of the sharks, Mr. PP himself, your intrepid leader, Cheeseburger, burger. Okay, as long as he won. But in his new book, Facts and Fears, Hard Truths from the in Intelligence was released yesterday. Clapper hammers the GOP leaders for not taking a harder stance on Russian meddling. Clapper, okay, get a clapper, okay, who was former President Obama's senior intelligence advisor for more than 6 years, writes that Ryan and McConnell were approached by the Obama administration in 2016 destroying a joint statement condemning foreign interference, okay, according to the excerpt published by the National Public Radio. Okay, now, in that same instance, they were basically trying to make sure that net neutrality did not happen at the same time, okay? So they fought back net neutrality, so this way it becomes still open. However, because of that loophole, Russia got in there and interfered. They straight up. There was collusion, people. I don't know how many times we got to sit here and debate this. There's no way in the world all of this could be going down. But I'm going to prove goes down. So the Republican leaders rejected the offer, saying they would not endorse a quote-unquote bipartisan statement that might hit their nominee for president. Oh. Clapper goes on to say, I was disappointed but not surprised. It seemed that they decided that when they didn't care who their nominee was, how he got elected, or what effects having a foreign power influence our elections would have on the nation as long as they won. Okay? And they won desecrating the creed of Malcolm X by any means necessary. And so they took those means, and they did so. So Clapper notes that he and Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson did eventually release a joint statement about Russian interference, but it was quickly overshadowed by the release of the Access Hollywood tape that showed Cheeseburger speaking crudely about grabbing women by the pussy without their consent. Okay? I saw our efforts ended up having all the impact of another raindrop in a storm at sea, Clapper writes. Oh, God. That's just as bad as trying to find a needle in the middle of the Pacific. Thank you, Frank Diaz. Okay, so Cheeseburger has called Special Counsel Robert Mueller's probe into the Russian meddling in the 2016 election a witch hunt. Y'all got to realize that Cheeseburger sits up and negatively oppresses attacks the press. So, therefore, it's cleaner in a much greater light to evangelical Christians. Okay, so since he called it a witch hunt, he's been calling that since then. Okay, he's been calling it. He's called on Sunday for the Department of Justice to investigate whether the FBI surveilled his campaign. He's looking for spies. All right, it was proved yesterday, dipshit. Okay, that there were no spies. There were no spies. Clapper said on Monday that Trump's demand, okay, 30, oh my God, come on. There we go. Okay, I gotta do this manually now? Jeez. This is what happens when your DJ's not in town right now, okay? DJ Sucker Punch is not in town, so I'm manually doing everything myself. Sucks, right? But I'm damn nuts again. Anyway, Trump has called the Special Counsel Robert Mueller's probe into Russian, meddling a witch hunt. But Clapper said on Monday that Trump's demand was a disturbing assault on the department's independence. Not only independence, but also intelligence. I'm sorry, people, but by overstepping your executive privileges like that only proves that the bully is still on the block. Talking about draining the swamp. First of all, homeboy, get out the middle of it. Okay? And not only that, but here's proof that this fool is not only the captain of saying, oh, everything's a witch hunt, everybody's against me, do. Okay? This is what we find very striking in every sense of the word of, as we would call, say, like, a basic lie. Okay? A basic lie. All right? From Newsweek, Cheeseburger has 15 million fake Twitter followers. 15 million fake Twitter followers. So let me ask you guys about the investigation into the probe of how Russia colluded to saturate Facebook with all kinds of crap, where Mark Zuckerberg's sitting in the parliament right now, sitting up here to saying, okay, I don't know how they did it, but they did it any damn way. So if this collusion went down, how is it that this fool still got 15 million fake followers? Fake followers. He sits there and he often denounces fake news, but it appears that on Twitter, Cheeseburger himself has a lot of fake followers. Okay? You can't back up his numbers. The survey has shown that of the Tweeter-in-Chief. Oh, we got a new one, Tweeter-in-Chief. Has more than 52 million followers. Over a quarter are not real people. Some 29%, or around 15 million, are fake accounts, according to the survey by the Gallup. And his following of real people is just closer to 37 million. Okay, he likes doing things big. I do everything big. I have prostitutes pee on me. And I also associate with people who are pedophiles. Yes, you do. Okay? By comparison, Cheeseburger's predecessor, Barack Obama, has 15% fake users among his 130 million followers. Okay? Oh my God. So 103 million beats 37. Okay? 6 rings beat 4. Okay? I don't care how the numbers don't lie unless you lie upon the numbers. So therefore, while Cheeseburger boasted that social media allows him to get an honest and unfiltered message out, only 8% of Americans read his tweets directly from Twitter, which is even worse. In fact, the mainstream media he criticizes as fake MSM are the most effective in disseminating his messages, with 76% of the people hearing about his tweets via other news outlets. So in a sense, he's just basically talking to a brick wall. Okay? Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. No, not even, babies. Not even. This is just gonna go down. This is just gonna go down.
Can I help you?
All right.
My name's Dave Bird.
Straight up. This is just gonna have to go down. I'm sorry, y'all. I have to like, go back and just shoot through all this and see if I will basically have what I have in this thing. Anyway, study shows that Democrats are more likely than Republicans to pay attention to his tweets. Only 5% of the Democrats following the idiots, but nearly 2/3 of them take notice of misusing. In contrast, 15% of Republicans follow him, and only around half pay attention to his post, which is 7. Okay, 7%. All right. The survey carried out this month of 2,806 people has a margin of error to 3 percentage points. It concludes that Cheeseburger's tweets reach the public because mainstream news outlets simply repackage them. So whenever you're watching Sean Hannity in the morning, and because these guys have their little, little girly slumber party chats, okay? Big buff fag chats and whatnot over the phone, or like, oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Well, I tell you what. Sean Hannity is nothing more than a conduit for this idiot's rampaging, okay? So they sit up and talk at night. Cheeseburger talks to him. Hannity talks to everybody else in America about what he just heard the night before. Do you not see the subliminal context of how this guy reads his friends and uses people, okay? Cheeseburger is simply a user. Cheeseburger is simply a codifier of his own mess, okay? And in some ways, then Twitter functions for Cheeseburger much like an old-fashioned press release or press conference statement. Few Americans see or read his tweets directly, but many ultimately hear about them via message coverage from other means. So in other words, the only person sitting up here calling fake news is the one who's actually putting it up in front of you, and that is your commander in beef. Okay? Your commander in beef. Your commander in chief. Tweet. Okay?
So what are your biggest strengths?
So obvious that this jackass has no clue what he is doing in the White House, other than trying to be a bully and trying to get away from a very sensitive issue, such as your team of lawyers are idiots. They're philanderers, and not only that, but the people around them and so forth are basically about to sink your boat. Okay? Impeachment is coming. It is coming. And I wouldn't be surprised if after, say, like, the North Korean, I guess the meeting and so forth, that North Korea gets up and walks away from it because they're not going to be bullied into, this dickhead's propaganda. It's not going to happen. It's not. Okay? So if Cheeseburger has worry about leakers and so forth in his administration, he should really look at himself first in the mirror before you start pointing fingers at everybody else. Okay? Tweets are proposed are in his voice. Okay? You want to do it in a way that fits his style. But why? Because his style is garbage, people. Straight garbage. And here we are, sitting here wondering why he continues to do so. Because he loves attention. I don't know any way of like actually putting it. But it is, unfortunately, a fact of life. Cheeseburger spends more time, trying to, basically justify his actions by simply manipulating his job description into the Constitution. It finds like those little gray lines and so forth to step over. So it's not like illegal, but it is legal enough for him to do. This is how this man wound up being bankrupt 14 times. This is how the banks don't want to deal with him. This is how he is laundering money through the Russians. This is how he is colluded with not only Arabia and Russia, and also China at the same time. So in other words, they got him on what is known as a rack, but they're pulling him in 3 different directions. And he's trying to control all of that. That's not happening, dude. You have no foreign policy whatsoever. You have no sense of foreign policy whatsoever. Which is the reason why everybody outside of this country is looking at us like we're a bunch of idiots here. That we allowed this shit to happen. And because we allowed this shit to happen, this is the sad part, people. Because we allowed this to happen, we're stuck with this idiot. But we don't have to be. Now that collusion is starting to get around inside of the White House, and it's starting to look very evident. Very, very evident. Okay? So let's go on. We're at the halfway point here. This is KTNG Morning Show. And I'm your host, the Gritzman. Gritzmon. That's what I. And we want to start the second half here off with a little thing we like to say. Go to our website and get a mug. Get a mug. Get a mug. Get a mug. You can find that on our website at ktng860am.org. And most importantly, become a lifetime supporter. You can only do that at $20. But you also have special donations that you can actually do. Become a registered. We put up the International Spitters Club just for you guys. So this way you can have like an idea of like what type of music that we play here. Okay. But, there's always means of doing, taking that out and putting in a lot more talk. Okay. So if anything, let's start off with a little good news for once. All right. It's okay. Start with good news. That because we now have the chance of the Democrats saying drain the swamp. Literally, the swamp needs to be drained. And so a sinkhole forms on White House lawn. I said this earlier. Let's see. Okay, from the New York Times. There's an actual sinkhole. It's formed on the north lawn of the White House, and predictably, the temptation was too great for many on social media who filled the void with with all the drain the swamp jokes and metaphors one could imagine. But forget the obvious political jabs and the fact that Cheeseburger uses the phrase as a rallying cry about eliminating corruption in Washington. The saying has some geological merit now. There is a legitimate swamp around the White House. Okay. If your man's talking about draining the swamp, why don't you see? This is indicative of America. We will sit up and play Water Pistol Man all over the freaking world. All right. Just for world domination. But we will not look in our backyard just to clean it up. We'll look at it and say, okay, that's there. It's the backyard. It's supposed to look like a backyard. Junky. Okay? We've been looking at junk in our backyard for, good, 70 freaking years, and we still haven't cleaned up most of it. Come on. How about this for swampy details? Okay? Here is, ex-governor of Virginia, okay? The guy who basically says that, Oliver North says that kids have problems with video. He does with with Ritalin and everything else and run around shooting kids and whatnot, but didn't make any connection like everybody else in the Republican Party saying that video games lead to violence, right? Why don't we drain the swamp on this jackass? Because obviously this man has got paid off of Call of Duty. Yes, if you have Call of Duty, you will see that Oliver North is inside of it. He endorses it. He gets paid. He gets a chip off of you gamers all day long. And y'all don't even remember, and you guys are too young to remember how this fool basically had the Iran-Contra affair where the United States was basically just selling arms, okay, and washing money at the same time, okay? It's even in movies as well. So when you have that kind of swampiness, and the NRA is in on all of this and so forth, and they're supporting 435 delegates within the GOP. It makes a simple argument that they will never change their policies either. Okay, so while you got sinkholes in front of the White House, and I'm talking about a big old sinkhole, I think 9 times out of 10, it's basically Satan saying, you know what, let me pull you guys into the hell that you really belong into. and maybe you'll understand that you are nothing but hell on earth. Okay? So here we go. As I said, I promised some good news. That this is pretty much good for the Democrats, because as we are seeing the primaries and the mid primaries taking an early start, a lot of Republicans are starting to lose their attachments. They're starting to lose their attachments. Take for example, a homeboy that was up in West Virginia when they had the school strike. A math teacher, he got in. How about Stacey Abrams, who actually wins Georgia's Democratic primary for governor, making history? We have to give her that, okay? So here's the story here by the New York Times. Georgia Democrats select black woman to be a major party nominee for governor of the United States on Tuesday, choosing Stacey Abrams, a liberal former state house leader who will test just how much the state's traditionally conservative politics are shifting. By defeating Stacey Evans, also a former state legislator, Ms. Abrams also became Georgia's first black nominee for governor, a prize that has eluded earlier generations of African American candidates in the state. The general election is sure to draw intense national attention as Georgia voters determine whether a black woman can win in the Deep South, a region that has not had an African American governor since Reconstruction. I hate to tell you guys, and all right, you're losing. You're starting to slide off the slope. You guys are going to go back into obscurity. And you're going to fight that obscurity with every fervor of your being until you realize that your voice will not matter much longer. She will face either Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle, top Republican vote getter Tuesday, or Secretary of State Brian Kemp. Mr. Cagle and Mr. Kemp will vie for their party's nominations in the July runoff. Ms. Abrams' victory, confirmed by the Associated Press, came on the latest 2018 primary night to see Democratic women finding success as voters in Kentucky, Arkansas, and Texas also went to the polls. Among the winners was Amy, a former Marine pilot who upset Lexington Mayor Jim Gray in the House primary in Kentucky, or Clantucky for that matter. But it was the breakthrough of Ms. Abrams that drew the most notice. A 44-year-old Yale Law School graduate who has mixed a municipal career in Atlanta and state house politics with running a small business and writing a series of romance novels under the nom de plume. She is now a central character in the midterm elections and the Democratic Party's request to define itself. So, old girl had it going on, okay? In a Facebook post declaring victory Tuesday night, Ms. Abrams acknowledged the road to November would be long and tough. Tonight, communities that were so often overlooked, whose values were never voiced, stood with us to say ours is the Georgia of tomorrow, a state where diversity is strength, a state where progress is more than possible. As supporters waited for her to arrive at a downtown Atlanta hotel to speak, one man wore a sandwich board adorned with an American flag that read, "Trust black women, elect black women." Holy stack. Oprah, do you see what's happening here? Okay? Ms. Abrams spoke forcefully to the crowd, calling herself a proud daughter of the Deep South and referring to Georgia's rich but complicated history and of leaders who are too often had overlooked the gap between struggle and success. Across Georgia, we are more than ready for, as she pointed out, called the Republicans, who she said had been too mean and too cheap to expand Medicaid. Okay, let me go back over this again. You guys are too mean and too cheap to expand Medicaid. Good. So which means that would explain the letter I got yesterday about the state of Colorado wanting to have proof that I actually got Medicaid. Oh, this is going to be funny. Okay, so needless to say, watch your mail, people. Okay, so with Atlanta thriving as a capital of Black America and a magnet for immigrants across the world, Georgia's demographics are changing. Okay, yet even as Democrats eye the state as the next great blue hope, I would say blue hope. Yeah, okay. The party has struggled to win statewide office in part because it had little success with conservative-leaning whites. African-American Democrats have held powerful state offices like Attorney General's posts, but Republicans currently control every major position in Georgia. That is about to change. That is about to change. Why? Because white male fertility rates are shrinking down in this country. Okay, that's why. And they're too busy destroying each other and trying to destroy and commit, an ethno state of existence in every other country. That's not democracy, people. That's called organized anarchy. Okay, so Ms. Abrams has signaled that she is unlikely to spend much time pleading with rural whites to return to a Democratic Party that they have largely abandoned. She has embarked instead on a strategy using a coalition of young and non-white Georgians to represent a growing share of the state's population and approach National Democrats are watching closely as they grapple with how to reclaim the presidency. Right about now, how do you reclaim a presidency that has been bereft with the amount of bullshit that comes from your fearless leader? Okay, let's just face it, people. Let's just face it. The man is a complete dumbass. You conservative whites, you evangelical Christians, you neo-Nazi, you fascists, you jackasses, amongst jackasses and your dependent, base of seniors, or basically, I guess for that matter, who are also white and great fundraisers and so forth, have elected the wrong person. If this had been done by the popularity vote by 9 times out of 10, if that were the case, think about it, people. They're, the seniors are basically most prominent when they're living longer lives, anywhere between 60 to like 80 that they go out and vote. After about 81, every other disease that they've tried to skip by and so forth hits you. So that's life. Why? You're gonna die. You're on death's bed at that point. But here's the point. Here's the point we're trying to make here. You have the Koch brothers scheme of basically trying to upset and lobby a lot of voter rights laws. Okay, but the corruption in the White House is white based. Okay, you guys don't see this, right? If you guys see this, by all means, please explain this one to me. Okay, it is a terrible sense to where our people are basically being cajoled into into a lack of economic opportunity. Even out here, there's not even an urban league. So where do black entrepreneurs go to? They have to go through the city's quagmire in order to get a license or to get this, that, and everything else. Oh, and they got nothing but tons of paperwork in order to get anything done, which is the reason why I needed money. Okay, I need money to get stuff done out here. Okay, but if I got to do it on myself, guess what? I'll keep changing the format until I get a better crowd of people. I've already been kicked off of the next door. Okay, too bad. Anyway, let's go around the world, people. All right. So, because of our influence here, the great and mighty has done everything in his power to make us look like the asinine country of the century, of the millennia. Okay, you don't hear about Americans leaving the country and so forth as much as we used to. Oh no. So, needless to say, from the Associated Press, Palestinians want international court to investigate Israel, and why? Okay, why not? From the Hague, Netherlands, calling it quote-unquote a historic step toward justice, the Palestinian foreign minister asked the International Criminal Court on Tuesday to open an immediate investigation into alleged Israeli crimes committed against the Palestinian people. It was simple. They're just standing there protesting flags, babies, and people, and handicapped people, kids, reporters, and they have no actual weapons except for maybe rolling, burning tires that never reach their mark. While Israel, the Israeli front, or as I would like to call it, the Israeli butcher machine, is shooting these poor people historically over and over and over. Their whole thing is to basically say, we want to ethnically cleanse you from the land that you used to have. Okay? If that's not genocide, what the fuck is? All right? The development was sure to worsen an already troubled relation between the internationally backed Palestinian Authority and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, or Yuhu, the chocolate milk that goes down white, government. Peace talks have been frozen for over 4 years, and contracts between the two sides are minimal. Okay, the best time those contracts were actually like good was when Jimmy Carter was in office, and already Jimmy Carter has already expressed his disdain for Cheeseburger's administration. But speaking to reporters at the ICC in The Hague, Netherlands, Palestinian Foreign Minister Raif Malki said he submitted the quote-unquote referral to the court during a meeting with the ICC's chief prosecutor Fatou Bensouda. Okay, now the referral sought an investigation into Israeli policies in the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and Gaza Strip since the state of Palestine accepted the ICC's jurisdiction in 2014. This includes Israeli policies in the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and as well as the recent round of bloodshed in the Gaza Strip, where Israeli fire killed over 100 Palestinians during mass protests along the Gaza border. There is a culture of impunity in Israel for the crimes against the Palestinians. This referral is Palestine's test to the international mechanism of accountability and respect for international law. Here's the thing, people. If the ICC does not, investigate and all the information is there. All the information is there. Okay, Netanyahu puts up fake information, puts up fake news to elicit war with Iran. Okay, to have America do the bidding of the Arabs to bomb Yemen, Syria. Why are we doing this? Why are we sitting up here? I can tell you why that we're doing this. Because they don't want the American dollar. They want their own economy to where everybody gets treated the same. Everybody gets free. The hospital, Medicaid, and Medicare. They go to college. Boom, 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 boom. They go keep their social. Let them have what they have. All right? Jeez. This worldwide takeover the new world order shit is like step-by-step progressive garbage. And you are basically trying to get people to get rid of their culture, their history, the way that they speak, everything. So that way we can all do what Moron did. Okay? Okay? We can do what Moron did. Arrow said, I'm going to build a big-ass tower. Big-ass tower. Okay? So that way people can actually, see me, shoot an arrow into the sky and possibly, hit God in the eye with an arrow. And what did Jah do? He reached down and he says, everybody speaking the same language. You gotta make sure you can't understand none of yourselves. And whoosh, what happened? What happened? Alas, poor Babylon, we are walking in that direction. New violence. In the new violence, the Israeli army said it targeted a Hamas observation post in Gaza with tank fire after a group of militants briefly entered Israel to set a fire to an Israeli military post. The army said that there were no injuries inside the Israeli side, and no additional details were immediately available. Oh, come on, people. Hamas this, Hamas that, Hamas, okay? Let's face it. This is nothing more than a press junket and so forth that actively supports the idea. Oh, is this the New York Times? No, this is Associated Press. Okay, no. New York Times, the New York Post, the New York Times and so forth, they support Israel all day long. But the use of Hamas is almost just like saying, come on, man. Come on. You know it's not that. You know it's not that. This is all based on a resource of property, a piece of land that belonged to the Palestinians, and Israelis have been always, since the 1940s, been messing with these people. Straight messing with these people. Okay? I guess that's the reason why, many states and many cities have issues with homeless people. You uproot them and then what happens? Then they become what is known as a social pest. So therefore, in that particular sense of society, when you have homeless people and you don't have no place to go, have no place for them, what are you going to do? Give them tickets, cite them, put them in jail so they come back out and do it again because they don't want to take advantage of the services that keep them in a loop? Wow. That's kind of stringent. Last one, people. Last one. In a striking role of race seen in kids is suicide risk. And I covered this basically yesterday. Okay? Now, recent studies have pointed to a worrisome increase in suicide rates among Americans of all ages and young people of color in particular. While suicide rates traditionally have been higher among whites than blacks in the United States, new research finds that is not true among younger children. I covered this yesterday. The reason being that I'm going back over this again is because this is a very, 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 very bad thing that's happening within, how do we have a culture of health in areas where the least of us get nothing at all, okay? According to say a lot of the research that's been done on the African American population, we're always in some sort of census. We're always in some sort of study, okay? Whether it's genetic or race or by by the census, we are always the people that everything is based on. Everything, okay? There's also quite compelling evidence that in some ways, there is a school of juvenile justice to prison pipeline that shows that African American kids are punished more severely in schools. And then they move on into prison. Of course they are. Of course they are. Because you think about it. Think about it. Black teachers will have a certain amount of they'll get a certain amount of respect. But when it comes to white teachers, of course, needless to say, there's going to be joking and jiving and whatnot going on. And remember old girl that got beat up by the police because she wouldn't get off her phone. Okay, well, you're in class, get off your phone. Don't be an idiot, all right? But the fact of the matter is, the cops had no business, the white cop had no business thrashing old girl in the doggone school, right in class, okay? That's just ridiculous. All of this speaks to the legacy of racism. And there should be a demand for African American children to be a stoic in the face of all of this and not get care. There is no care, okay? Because if any of you have grown up where your parents basically beat your ass, okay, for doing shit, then 9 times out of 10, that is a tradition from slavery. Before then, when we were kings and queens, we did not punish our children. No, we gave them lessons, right? We gave them lessons. We gave them lessons to look for in life. We gave them knowledge of self. We gave them knowledge of culture. We gave them knowledge of reason, logic, how to separate their emotions from fact. That sort of thing. This is what we did when we got stowed away and came across the middle passage where thousands of chains still lay at and nobody's gotten the balls to get them. Tells me one thing. Dad, John Hootie Hawkins, had the nerve to place that whip upon the first black man. Do you not think that this particular practice of whipping slaves would permeate into child beatings? Okay? So my question is this here. The question is this here, people. The question is this here. All right? If we are to sit up and factually go about forgetting our passages as a great royalty that we have at once, keep in mind, people, that we have the privilege of royalty that none will ever have. All right? We walk and should walk with that royalty. I don't care if there's somebody out there saying, oh, you're too proud, you're too proud. You know what? I am proud. I am very, very proud of my lineage. And I sport it every day. That's right. I sport it every freaking day. And if people don't like it, then go take your ugly ass someplace else. You're in my way. All right? Straight up. I forge my own path. I don't follow behind stupidity. And I don't live for it either. Okay? I go where the love is and I go and do my thing. Simple. And the hardest road to get on simplicity is the one that's never traveled. Seriously. Seriously. Okay. Anyway, let me get up here and say good morning to everybody that's on, on the stream here. Or as they would say, the morning. RIP, as I would call it. Via the, Facebook Messenger. Ernest Franklin, world's smartest man in Texas. Good morning. Okay. Rodney Allen Rippey, good morning. Corey Havoc Malloy, good morning. Walter Elizabeth, good morning. Walter Jenkins, the man who remembers, the man who's responsible for the funky booty. Good morning. Coretta Brown, good morning. Dada Scratch, good morning. David Salerno, yes, YPay is in the house. Good morning. And let's see, also, good morning to, and pull you guys back up here. Black Tongue, good morning. Keisha Lewis, good morning. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my God. Get your way smart, good morning. Roxanne Shakte, good morning. Angela Perez, $1 Million Smile, $1 Billion Lifestyle, good morning. Let's see. Also, David Perez, good morning. Frank Martinez, good morning. Glenn Company, good morning. Jen Hibbert, good morning. What are you doing? Why? I don't know what you're doing. Anyway, it's bizarre. Okay, Barry Boz, good morning. Let's see who else we got going on here. Which is, I don't know. Thomas, good morning. Yoshiyuki Uchihara, good morning. Dope. Let's see. Olivia Walls, good morning. Let's see. Neftali, Luis Rivera, good morning. Latinos and friends of Aquila Harbor and Stafford, good morning to all. Jaquan, good morning. Daniel Vargas Benitez, good morning. Also, this I believe you guys have like an announcement and so forth. I'm gonna have to post that up if I can on our feed here, so that way we can generate a little bit of buzz. Let's see. And Darren Gregory Malloy, good morning. And I believe that's all we got for a hump day on a clumpy start to this whole thing. But again, people, it's not how you start your day. It's how you finish, And in that particular case and so forth, when we do finish our days, we should be able to take stock of the things that we did to make our days better. As human beings, we have the propensity and the sheer will to do better. The only problem is we have a bunch of stoic idiots out there who believe that there's, validity in fake news, fake heritage, and most importantly, the complete supplication of the N-word at a Kendrick Lamar concert. Okay? For real, man. Come on, man. Come on. All right? Intellectual hip-hop must come back, because if it doesn't, we're all doomed. I hope. In many cases, I'm hoping in cases that people will actually get a clue. Hopefully, I pray for these things. I really do. And I'm gonna basically put some stuff together real quick. I have to. So if I seem a little distracted, it's because we've had some very goofball things happen today, which I'm going to have to correct pretty much in that particular sense. So, oh well. It is what it is, Can't depend on the technology, but I do depend on you people to not only view these things, but also give me some response, some feedback, that sort of thing. So if you can, go to YouTube at MushLuv'd by Ja. See the thousands upon thousands of streams that I've done. Some of them long, some of them short, because of our bitrate problems here. I keep telling people that's why we do fund drives. Next month, we're going to do fund drives again. Okay? We're going to do fund drives every 2 months until we actually get it. Ding! Okay? So, and I'll keep doing them. And then I'm going to start changing the format even more and more. Okay? So, if that's the case, then stay ready for the challenge, people, because it's going to be fun. And you're going to be amazed. Yeah, I had to leave a nugget there. Oh, speaking of which, this next bit's going to be really... Oh, my God. Oh, good grief. Oh, this is just unbelievable. Okay. Let's swap that out with this. Oh, my God. Oh, there goes the kitty. Okay. All right. Anyway, saying good morning to everybody is a good thing. And being sure that we do have those mornings available is also a good thing. And let's see. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Gibson Freedom Bell, good morning. Professor Nigel Daring, good morning. And Ella Benny, good morning. So, also, I do have to roll as well. So, I'm going to be in and out pretty much for the rest of the day because I got crap to do. Gotta do it. Anyway, I guess in my parting shot here is that the stories that I've just related to you are part of the human strata. You have those on the high end of it who refuse to take responsibility for their actions, and they're showing people exactly how to act like a generic asshole to get what you want. Sorry. There are those of us who are very indignant against policies like that, and we refuse, and I say, repeat, refuse to follow the dictum, to follow the norm. I don't follow behind stupidity, okay? No, I set the bar high enough so that way if you can actually reach it, then 9 times out of 10 you have enough of a mental frame of mind of saying that nothing moves on your time except for you. Okay? Get this, people. Get this through the thickness of it. Okay? If you want to impress people and so forth, do impress them on your time. How you use your time. How you make your time wise enough for people to actually understand what you're trying to do and trying to get. Don't be a victim of time. As we see now that the Cheeseburger administration is becoming a victim of time itself. And because of all of the unsavory things that are going on in this administration, I have to laugh at America because we fell for it. All right? We fell for it. But nonetheless, this is where we get off the train ride and we say goodbye. And we come back tomorrow, hopefully with all of our issues cleared up. You know, I do thank the 1 and 2 supporters and so forth that I usually have who seemingly donate. Okay? But nonetheless, you know, it's all good. It's all good. Because I'm not stuck on that stupid. I make my path and I give myself rewards. Gotta do it. If I gotta like go through a whole bunch of things and so forth to find, you know, my niche and everything, by all means I will. That means I don't give up. Okay? I am self-reliant. I can be self-reliant and make my own way, regardless of how many obstacles. That's America. All right? All right, people. I gotta get out of here. It's been fun. So love, peace, and chickeries. Facebook. We are done, and y'all people can get out of my damn living room because that's where y'all belong. All right, so y'all watch this later, but I'm gonna replay this later on this evening. So yeah, and for YouTube, Mush Love by Ja. Look for it, answer to it, and most important.